This is for educational use only. Our group grants permission for our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardines, to use this as educational material.
The globalization of religion. First of all, we'll discuss the learning objectives. So the first learning objective is how globalization affects religion, practices, and beliefs. Spread of ideas. People learn about different religions worldwide. For example, a yoga from Hinduism is now popular globally. Blending of beliefs. Religion mixed with local traditions. For example, is animist beliefs combined with Buddhism in Southern Asia. Adaptation and reform. Religions change to fit modern values. For example, some Islamic communities interpret laws in modern context. Interfaith dialogue. Globalization promotes tolerance. For example, is United Religions initiative encourage cooperation among religions. The second learning objectives is religion and global conflict and peace. Conflict. Religion different can cause tension or war. For example, is Israel-Palestine conflict over Jerusalem. And peace. Religion can promote dialogue and cooperation. For example, interfaith movements like Parliament over World Religions address global issues peacefully. So, the globalization of religion. So religion has always been a strong foundation of human civilization. It shapes our moral values, influences our behavior, and gives people a sense of belonging. But as the world becomes increasingly interconnected through the trade, technology, migration, and communication, religion too has become globalized. So globalization has opened doors for people to share their beliefs beyond borders. At the same time, it has created new challenges such as cultural misunderstanding, religious conflicts, and the struggle to preserve spiritual identity in a fast-changing world. In this presentation, we'll explore globalization affects religious practices and beliefs, how it connects to global conflict and global peace, and how media plays crucial role in spreading religious and shaping global village. Defining globalization and its connection to religion. So let's begin by defining globalization. Globalization is the process by which business, ideas, culture, and people become interconnected across the world. It involves the exchange of goods, services, information, and even beliefs. In the context of religion, globalization means that religious ideas and practices are no longer limited to one region or culture. Through modern transportation, migration, and especially digital communication, religions can now reach global audiences. For example, a Christian mass can be live streamed online and watched by people in Asia, Africa, or America at the same time. A Muslim teacher can share the meaning of random through TikTok or YouTube. A Buddhist monk can teach mindfulness meditation to people worldwide through online platforms. So globalization turns religion into shared global experience, connecting people spiritually despite differences in race, nationality, or languages.
The impact of globalization on religious practices and beliefs. One of the biggest impacts of globalizations on religion is how it changes religious practices. In the past, worship was always done in sacred places, such as temples, mosques, and church. Today, Many people attended virtual religious services. Technology allows believers to pray together even if they are miles apart. This was especially evident during the COVID-19 pandemic, when online masses and virtual gatherings became the new normal. Globalization also allows for interfaith dialogue, the interaction between people of different faiths. These conversations encourage mutual respect and understanding. For instance, interreligious organizations often hold peace conferences that bring together Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus, and others to discuss tolerance and coexistence. However, globalization also influences beliefs. Exposure to other cultures sometimes challenges traditional values. Younger generations might become open-minded, but also more questioning of traditional teachings. This can lead to modernization within religion, but sometimes causes tensions between traditionalists and reformists. Moreover, globalization creates cultural blending, what we call religious hybridization. For example, in the Philippines, Christianity mixes with indigenous beliefs. In Latin America, Catholicism combines with local traditions and rituals. In Japan and Korea, Buddhist practices mix with modern self-help spirituality. Globalization, therefore, does not destroy religion, it transforms. It encourages adoption, making religion more flexible and accessible to the modern world.
The relationship between religion, global conflict, and global peace. Religion and globalization have a complex relationship with conflict and peace. On one hand, religion can become a source of division. Differences in beliefs have often been used to justify wars or discrimination. When globalization exposes people to different religions, it can lead to misunderstanding or even violence. For example, religious extremism, such as terrorist groups using faith for political goals, spread faster through the internet, which is also a product of globalization. On the other hand, globalization also gives us tools to promote global peace through international organizations such as the United Nations or the World Council of Churches. People of different religions come together to promote tolerance, humanitarian aid, and cooperation.
Another major factor in the globalization of religion is the media. Media connects billions of people every day through television, radio, film, and most importantly, the internet. Social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok have become tools for spreading religious messages. Preachers use live streams to reach global audience. Religious organizations share inspiring videos, prayer, and music. Online forums allow believers to discuss their faith with people from different backgrounds. Through media, religion shapes public opinion, builds awareness of world issues, and influences more perspectives. This led us to the idea of global village, a term introduced by media theorist Marshall McLuhan. He described the world as a single community connected by technology and communication. In this global village, people of different beliefs interact daily, exchanging ideas and sharing values. Religion is no longer confined to a single community, it becomes a part of the global dialogue. However, we must also be aware of the negative side of media. The same platforms that spread messages of peace can also spread misinformation, hate speech, or religious intolerance. Some extremist groups use the internet to recruit members for distort religious teaching for violent purposes. Therefore, media literacy and responsible use of technology are essential. We must learn to filter what we see online and focus on credible, respectful, and truthful religious content.
Globalization, Culture, and Religion. Globalization connects culture and religion more closely than ever religion. Influences culture from art, music, and fashion to laws and social norms. At the same time, culture shapes how religion is practiced. For instance, Islamic fashion has gone global, blending modesty with modern design. Christian gospel music influences pop culture and around the world. Buddhist mindfulness practices of use in Western wellness programs. This blending of faith and cultural shows that religion remains alive and adaptable in the global age. It continues to give meaning and identify the people everywhere, even as culture evolves. Toward a global culture of peace. Globalization affects religion in many powerful ways. It changes how Filipino practice their faith, opens an opportunities for understanding, and even redefines spiritually and modern world. At the same time, globalization also creates challenges. It can also misunderstand cultural laws or their religion for conflict. But if we embrace globalization with open hearts and responsible minds, it can be a pathway the peace away rather than divide. Religion will continue to evolve and Filipino interact across cultures. What matters most is how we use our shared humanity to build bridges, not barriers. As students and future leaders, we should promote tolerance, respect, and compassion in the global village. We live in today because true globalization is not just about connection, it's about understanding, respect, and peace.